Well, hello. I wanted to come on here to talk about my Zepbound journey. So I started Zepbound about 4 weeks ago, and I just want to kind of come on to kind of give some guidance that wasn't there for me when I was researching whether to start this medication or not. I was actually really terrified to start the medication because of some background history on me. So I've had multiple concussions. I have some issues going on from those brain injuries with my left eye. You might be able to see it if you look real close. When it gets weary, it starts to close on me. And what else? Had Epstein-Barr, Lyme, a bunch of things that have challenged me over the last 6 years after these concussions happened. But I wanted to work on, my weight loss for this season in my life. So I did a lot of praying, asked the Lord, God, is this for me? Because I just don't want to take anything that really doesn't have a lot of proven record for like what will happen longevity wise with the body. So I had to do a lot of research, and part of my research and why I'm recording this video is making sure you talk to your optometrist, ophthalmologist, whoever you see for your eye care. Because I see a specialist that specializes in traumatic brain injury, I was able to have like a really detailed conversation with him after me doing some research and discovering there's a thing called disc at risk, which is why a lot of people that start these GLP-1s may be experiencing temporary blindness or permanent blindness because of their disc at risk ratio, their status. And I don't think doctors are really telling people that are about to start this GLP-1 that information. I think maybe they may not know. And because everybody is on this bandwagon of these GLP-1s, there really is no discussion around that. Now, for me, because of my history of these, fairly recent, it's been 6-7 years, but I'm still have some challenges with the brain injuries and the eye and all that kind of stuff. I needed to specifically know the answer to that, because that was going to be the decision that would either say yes or no for me. And I wasn't going to fool around with it. I've had a friend who tried one of the other GLPs and had some temporary blindness. Praise God that her vision came back. But I didn't want to go through that when I already know that I have a lot of dysfunction and continuing in care for my eye therapy and trying to restore whatever may be going on with these eyes of mine. And it's not really vision, it's functionality of the eye. So I just want to kind of like share with people that are wanting to start Zepbound, to start there. Yes, have the conversation with your physician, your regular practitioner, or your obesity management physician, but also make sure you go get your eyes checked. If you haven't had your eyes checked, get your eyes checked to detect the amount of pressure, so that they can at least get a baseline measurement on your eyes, on your optic disc, so that you kind of know where you're standing. If you're over 40, I'm 55. So if you're over the age of 40 and you've been getting regular eye visits, annual visits, then that baseline should already be there for you, for them to determine that yes, this is going to be a problem, or no, it's not. So I was fortunate enough to have seen that. My background is I am a registered nurse. I no longer practice, but I am a registered nurse. And so, it was nothing for me to kind of think outside the box, like, wait a minute, what's going on with this temporary blindness or permanent blindness with these GLP-1s. So I just wanted to kind of like share that with you. I don't know if I'm going to be coming back on here to give my updates like that, like most people do with Zepbound. I will say this, that on Friday, this Friday, it will be 4 weeks for me. I didn't have the nausea the first, I think when I gave my injection that first Friday, I decided to, after doing, again, research, listening to some of the people here on YouTube, share their stories and their challenges. I did a lot of pre-work with, trying to figure out like what it was I was going to eat, looking at like what you should be eating, to try to prevent the nausea, like injection day, not having so much of, certain foods or whatever. So I did all that work, had everything mapped out, pasted on my kitchen wall, all that kind of stuff. And my first injection, I did it in the evening because some people had recommended doing it in the evening. So if you do get nausea, being able to sleep through the nausea. So I did it in the evening. So my injection time is at 7 p.m. I immediately, because I'm very sensitive, I immediately felt like that medication going up through my body into my head. And I did have some nausea, like it was very, very mild. So, I just worked through it. It was no big deal. And then the next day I was expecting to be nauseous and I wasn't. So also for me, my first week was challenging because, not because of nausea, more so because I am an individual, my body, I cannot use processed or overly processed foods. So whereas like somebody that's doing Zepbound may be able to utilize protein powders and protein drinks and all that kind of stuff to try to get their amount of protein in for the day, I can't do that because it causes inflammation in my body. So I've been having to use other methods. I've been having to use like chicken bone broth, and the one I buy only has like 9 grams of protein in a serving. So I'm having to double that and have that in the beginning of the day. So that's what I pretty much did the first 2 weeks. I'm eating a lot of eggs for my breakfast, a lot of Applegate brand turkey or chicken breakfast sausage for breakfast, and just cooking. That's generally what I would do anyway, but I'm making my meals and leaving out the processed stuff, the stuff that I know just doesn't work for me. I even tried, I think in that first week, I tried using the pasteurized egg whites that are in the carton that you sell, because I'm like, hey, if I can make a nice smoothie with this, because it's something I've done in the past many years ago, then I'm winning. I'm going to get my protein in. And lo and behold, my body reacted with a lot of inflammation. So I had to remove that. So it's been like a little trial and error from what I had prepped prior to starting Zepbound, of how my day was going to go with my eating and what foods and all that. Yeah, so it's been like 3 weeks of trial and error for me. I currently am not meeting my protein goal, but I also just kind of said to myself, I'm not going to stress myself about it. Now, along with that, not getting enough protein, I am having some, I guess, muscle crampiness throughout my body. And I know it's because I'm not getting enough protein, and also because I can't use electrolyte powders and electrolyte drinks because they have another inflammatory response in my body. So now I'm having to be creative. My beautiful niece said, Auntie, use coconut water, lime, and salt. So I have been putting in my water. I normally drink out of a 48 ounce, here's my jar of water. It has 48 ounces of water in it. And I'll generally just put apple cider vinegar in there, but just discovered that the apple cider vinegar, which I have in my water, I've been drinking like that for years, apparently depletes your potassium a little. So with the Zepbound, it can be electrolyte depleting. So anyway, this jar has some salt in it, just a little bit of sea salt, a Himalayan sea salt. And I've been using lime. along with just a splash. So I'm just putting a splash of apple cider vinegar in that 48-ounce bottle of water. But today what I did was I took coconut water, put that in the blender, blended up a whole lime, and what else I put in there? Oh, some salt, some sea salt. And also I had to cut it with some water. So I have a couple of jars made up like that in the refrigerator for when I feel like I need it. So my goal this week and moving forward to help with my muscles and the crampiness I'm having is to, sip on that as well, because I can't do the other products. I got to make my own, which is better anyway. So I just wanted to say that y'all check with your doctors, y'all that are doing Zepbound, because had I not done any research, I would not have found this information out about the eyes. And had I not had these situations already going on with me being in ocular therapy and all that kind of stuff, my brain injuries, I would not have known to ask. So that's really what the goal of this video was, is to ask your doctors about, whether or not you are considered disc at risk with your eyes, because that is what triggers the temporary blindness or permanent blindness from the GLP-1s. So I just want to kind of give that advice. Thank you for listening to me. I may or may not, don't hold me to it, come back on, drop me a comment below. Let me know if you want me to share some updates on my Zepbound journey here. So anyway, y'all be blessed. Thank you for tuning in to my channel. Thank you for liking and subscribing, and taking a look at some other videos I got going on. All right, bye.